My boss said, "Congratulations, you're terminated, darling." At the quarterly meeting, our lawyer slid a paper to the CEO. He read it, looked at my manager's $3 million bonus agreement, and then asked the entire room, "So, who wants to tell him he just voided his own contract?" I knew something was wrong the second Marcus called me sweetheart in front of everyone. We were 40 minutes into the Q3 meeting when our new district manager paused his slideshow and said, "Let's talk about the elephant in the room." Turns out, I was the elephant. The conference room was packed. 26 people, including HR, the CFO, 2 interns, and most of the board on video. Marcus smiled that fake sympathy smile and said, "Sarah, after careful consideration, your position is being eliminated. Effective immediately. No warning, no private conversation, just a public execution wrapped in corporate speak." I'd been there 12 years, survived 4 bosses, launched 7 products, saved 2 system crashes that would have cost millions, and this guy fires me in front of half the company like I'm a line item on a budget sheet. But here's the thing. Marcus made one critical mistake. A month earlier, I'd been copied on an executive compensation email by accident. HR was supposed to send redacted summaries, but sent the full document instead. Being naturally nosy and having learned to always save everything in corporate, I downloaded everything, including Marcus's bonus agreement. Specifically, the part about his $3 million performance bonus that had a very interesting clause attached to it. That night, I cracked open a beer and pulled up that file. There it was, buried in Section 4B. Bonus eligibility contingent upon adherence to internal compliance procedures, including proper employee separation protocols. Translation: if you fire someone like a jerk without following the rules, you lose your bonus. All of it. And Marcus, he'd fired me with 0 documentation, no performance warnings, no HR consultation, no legal review, just vibes and ego in front of witnesses on a recorded Zoom call. I called my lawyer, David, the next day. We spent 2 hours building a timeline, emails, meeting transcripts, the separation policy Marcus clearly never read. Every piece of evidence showed he'd violated protocol. David drafted a legal memo, boring, professional, devastating, and buried it on page 7 of the quarterly legal governance report. It would go to the board 24 hours before their next meeting. I stayed quiet, didn't update LinkedIn, didn't rant online, just waited. 3 days later, the board meeting started. Marcus strutted in with overpriced coffee for everyone, wearing that navy blazer with his initials on the cuff. He launched into his presentation about elevating performance and culture transformation. Then he actually said, "I trust the bonus we discussed will reflect these outcomes." That's when the CEO's assistant walked in, handed him a folder, and whispered something. The CEO opened it. Page 7. His pen stopped moving. He looked up at Marcus like he was reading a death certificate. "Let's pause," the CEO said. "This memo, was this reviewed?" Our junior legal counsel adjusted her glasses. "Yes, sir. Page 7 summarizes Section 4B of the Executive Incentive Agreement regarding compliance during terminations." Marcus blinked. "What clause?" The CEO turned to me. "Sarah, can you confirm the details of your departure?" I was terminated during the Q3 meeting in front of the full team without prior notice or review. It's on the recording. The room went silent. "Did legal approve that separation?" the CFO asked. Marcus stammered. I assumed protocol was followed." "Assumed?" The CEO flipped back to the clause. "This says any executive who terminates an employee outside documented protocol voids their performance bonus." That's when David walked in, slid another folder across the table. Marcus's signed bonus agreement, the meeting transcript, and a memo titled Executive Compensation Eligibility Q3 Bonus Disqualification Trigger Summary. The CEO read it, then read it again. He looked at Marcus. "You didn't follow protocol. You terminated an employee on record, mid-meeting, without process. That triggers the clause." Marcus's face went white. "There must be a mistake. Bonus is null. Effective immediately." The room stayed silent as everyone realized what had just happened. Marcus had just fired himself out of $3 million. I walked out, got coffee across the street, and smiled.